Hey everyone, Amanda Anderson here, Director of Marketing at Pira Consulting and co host of the Higher Fire podcast. Today's topic is about the mentality of it's not personal, it's just business. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, welcome back. So, I want to talk about this mentality or the term of, or the saying of it's not personal, it's just business. I for those of you that are just kind of meeting me, I've had roles that started at the bottom of a company multiple times and have each time worked my way up to um, quite a high level of management or responsibility each time throughout my 20s and my early 30s. And a lot of that stems from obviously I have drive. I want to be extremely successful. And in my 20s and early 30s, that meant the titles and the money and the responsibility, the clout, whatever I could kind of get my hands on of this will build my career and I'll just take off. It'll be exciting. Well, that stems from in my 20s, college and in my 20s, the mentality was always it's a dog eat dog world. It's not personal, it's just business. And kind of on top of that was as a female, you have to also um, act like a man. Honestly, like pre kind of some of the more recent women's movements, that was huge of be more serious, but smile. Make sure you negotiate and play hardball and all those things that may or may not be for us as individuals, if we're whether male or female. So at this point, I in my career, I was making those tough decisions, right? I'd figure out ways to undercut my colleagues and make sure I was the best, or I would there were a few times where I had to let people go that I didn't want to, or I couldn't hire someone that I thought was really going to be good, but maybe I had some competing viewpoints within the company, and they pushed me towards no, we need whatever it is. So a lot of decisions that did catapult my career, whether they were dealing with other people or just to myself of how do I make myself more serious and confident, and how do I carry myself in a way that would further my career. And I was never really being my true authentic self. I always had to just be something that I wasn't. And it worked. Being that way is if you're good at what you do, being that way will help you climb the ladder. Make no mistake that there are moments where that works. What the people who were mentoring me throughout my college and 20s and stuff, what they didn't tell me was what that would do to me as far as mental health, my personal relationships, my professional relationships. You know, you become on your own. You don't have anyone vying for you. You don't have anyone who will, behind your back say nice things. So for me, because I can't tell you what to prioritize and what's important, but for me, especially in the last few years with COVID and all the things that are going on, I have found that moving your career forward with compassion uh, gets you just as far and feels so much better. There are many instances where I would hands out say, no, it's not. It is personal. It is personal. If I am just a number, a cog in the wheel, that's personal. This is a huge part of my day, or your colleague's day, your employee's day, being at work. That's a huge part. So if we're just going to live a large part of our job or our life, excuse me, as just these mean, cutthroat people, that is going to take a toll. It takes a toll on society and the individual. So personally, like I said, I'm trying to switch to how can I help others? How can I move someone else's career forward? And will someone do that for me? If someone's struggling at work, have you taken the time to offer a non-judgmental ear? Asking about their weekend, or really sincerely being sorry for losses or sickness or whatever that other people are going through. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not all going to hold hands and sing kumbaya and everything's going to be rainbows and unicorns. I understand that. That isn't my message. You will still have to, tell your supervisor or your boss about someone who's routinely coming in late. You might have to let someone go that you don't want to, but they continually won't improve. There will be times where you go head to head in an interview with someone and respect. And whoever wins the position. Excuse me, but it can still be done with compassion and a level of humanity that will make everyone feel good about the outcome. Because let's say you do go in an interview head to head with your colleague, they get the position, you don't. Well, if you were a great, compassionate competitor, that relationship isn't ruined, who now maybe they're your supervisor. And vice versa. If you win and your colleague doesn't, if you get the promotion and you're managing them, the more you were a human, a compassionate, nice, kind human, that relationship will sustain, so that maybe you will do better in your position if that relationship is maintained. They'll continue to work well with you, so maybe you can promote them or suggest a promotion for them in another area. So there's a balance, okay? You still have to do your job, and we all compete. Competition is healthy. But as I mentioned a minute ago, please just do it with a level of compassion and humanity that, you'll still be able to sleep at night. So that's it for today. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to the Hire and Fire podcast, brought to you by Pira Consulting. Please check us out online via LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or at our website, piraconsulting.com. That's PIRA consulting.com.